Hi, Dustin.
How's it going? Front and center.
That's right, and because I have many questions for you. But the first one, we were talking to Coach Tobe. He said you guys realized they had picked up on the cadence when you're going to kick a field goal. How important is it to be mindful of that? And he said you did make changes, but to go into this knowing that, they were a team that capitalized on that last time.
Yeah, definitely. I think that anytime you do something just over and over and over again like that, we watch a lot of film on everybody, and everybody's can be rhythmical. And so we just got to look at it and throw a couple different things. We do that a lot, but sometimes when you have 7, 8, 9 field goals or extra points in a game like our offense does, you end up just doing a lot more than other teams. And so we just had to kind of step back and kind of self-scout and say, hey, how are we going to change this just from, James, me, and Butker? Because it's not just, one person doing it. It's everybody's either anticipating or whatever it is. So we can change it up. There's a lot of ways to do that, and it's just to, make sure that you're different on, instead of like 5 opportunities, we have 10 or whatever it is. We just have to make sure that we throw enough different stuff in there so people aren't getting used to our snap count.
Justin, have you heard this week from old teammates, guys you played with earlier in your career?
Not yet. I think they'll after the game we'll talk and stuff like that. I think when you're a former player, I think that they kind of say like, well, we'll chat with them after the game. We understand it's fun watching on social media some of the guys that are kind of reaching out that I've been fortunate enough to kind of play for down through these years, and I know they're excited. I just answered a question in the back, and it's fun thinking about all these guys that did stuff the right way, and just the timing grace that I have to be able to play in this game after 15 years of being in this city, and how much football means to this town and to the Hunt family and just our organization. It's fun looking back and seeing the guys that I've gotten to play with that I'd love to say like, God, he deserves to play in this game and do that. So I feel very fortunate right now.
Who comes to mind? Who are you referring to?
Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of guys, but obviously Derek Johnson, who I came in with. Tony G. Obviously, he was great for this city. But there's 100 names that I could mention when I first got here, like Will Shields and Brian Waters and Casey Wegman, and guys that you're like, Willie Rove. I probably played with 1,000 people here, and so you end up just thinking about guys that do things the very right way, and just were time-wise just weren't on this team, and you're like, God, it'd be fun for them to have the same experience. But that's the other thing, the beauty thing about it is watching 7 years of this coaching staff and Veach and our executive offices upstairs kind of build this team, and guys that we have 15 guys on the injury report, and Rick Burkholder and the training staff manages to get everybody healthy and back, and we still have our record and this opportunity ahead of us. And so that speaks volume for the coaches that build through the draft and through free agency and know that player they're looking for. And so it's fun to see how all the guys got here. When you look down our roster, everybody's obviously from different places, whether it be out of the draft or from free agency, or how they got here, or if they called Kansas City and said, I want to be here. And so that's fun, seeing guys and who our current roster is and how it's built.
What about your dad and your brother? What do you hear from them?
We're on our way. Britton's on his way in an RV, I heard, my little brother. So he's like, I'm coming. It's like, you can't wear purple, you got to wear red. My dad's on his way, and, they're just excited to be in this, to be able to do this. Britton was able to win a championship in Denver and kind of go on and have a really good, few years in Cleveland and Minnesota. And so they're excited that I've been able to play here just for all of my years. And so they're like, we're coming. So get tickets.
You don't need me to remind you that you played on some pretty bad teams during your time here. Do you feel like having gone through those times will make, if you can get to a Super Bowl, will make that mean even more than it otherwise might have? If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense. And, yeah, the answer is yes, it means a lot, because I've seen how this team was put together, and the hard work and the phone calls. And, it's very rare when you see people on the phone in training camp, on the field, and they're taking a call and they're all like, we got him, or like this happened, or you're like, man, they are actively, sculpting this roster. And you could see that kind of all year long, and just getting guys and, plugging in here and that. And so I always think of, when I think my favorite championship is baseball. The celebration after the game, because they go to like every position in time when it happened and how their celebration goes. And so after 15 years and the opportunity, you just see something like, Steve Weatherford comes to mind, of him just sprinting as fast as he can, because Fiegel's played 21 years, never won a playoff game, and then finally wins it all and all this stuff. And so it's cool to those storylines and seeing that. I'm like, Tyreek's fast, Mikol's fast, but I will be faster. It's probably not in my mind, but
So you have thought about winning a Super Bowl. Coach Tope is up here saying, if we win and seeing Andy Reid, I think I'll just cry. Have you've had dreams of outrunning your receivers to the middle of the field?
and I'm in slow motion, but
I mean,
just like in a
envision
dream. Yeah, I mean every player does that works. I think at this game they envision going all the way. It's what you work for, what you work out for. It's why you stay in the weight room. It's why you do a lot of things professionally. And the way Coach Reid does things, when you come in 2013, we're lucky to have this guy even come into this small market team. That's what the only thing we ever heard was small market, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, like, Andy Reid's here. This is crazy. So it's kind of changed the trajectory. And so to win one for him and for all of us, for that matter, and for this city that is so hungry. I mean, we're hungry during preseason games. I mean, it's amazing seeing the fans and the barbecue and just the excitement, in this crowd, and just the vibe that was there even when we weren't doing well. And now it's just a monster that you're like, how do they get? I don't think they can get any louder, and they just do. And so it's fun to see that. And of course, you want to win one for Big Red, because everybody says he's a player's coach, and I don't think that exists. He's just a man that wants to make other men and win a championship.
We got time for a couple more guys. I just want to go back to last week. And special teams had a role in the deficit, and then it had a big role in reversing the deficit. How gratifying is that when special teams can help rally the team?
Definitely. It's rare in the NFL to have a punt blocked and a muff punt and two scores after both, one during and then one out, immediately after the muff punt. You look up at the scoreboard and you're like, gosh, we've been responsible for 14 of these 21 points. And then through the course of the next three quarters, second, third, and fourth quarter, including at the end there where Pringle goes down and just looks like he's been doing this for like 10 years, goes down and hits a punt inside the 10-yard line, and we just started hitting on all cylinders. Two things happened, and then we had five really big things happen on special teams in the last second, third, and fourth quarter. And so it was just fun to see the guys, because we work hard out there. I mean, it's fun since Coach Tobe's been here, because even on days if we're not in helmets, the return guys are in helmets. We're always in helmets. We're catching footballs. We're doing everything we can. And so when it started out like that, it was one of those things like we always want to be difference makers, and in a positive way, not a negative. And so when we closed out the game like we did, we were all kind of pumped up. And that's how it is: offense, defense, and special teams.
Dustin, there was a report that Patrick Mahomes' hometown was going to paint the town red down in the White House. Curious if your hometown, because of the interesting dynamic, have you had any fun interactions with people back home, or feel that support? Just what's it like going back?
I've kind of basically had to turn almost the whole entire Pi Kappa Alpha house on Tennessee's campus away, because they're just going to be here, and if they're like, if we don't have a ticket, we'll just sit out in the parking lot until you're done. They won't do the paint the town red thing. They hate red because it's an orange state, but they're excited, and they've been coming to. They have not missed a game since Indy 06, especially in the playoffs, and so it's fun to kind of carry that. I mean, punters don't have entourages, but I guess they're a little bit of an entourage.
Okay, an entourage going to follow you in Miami for the NFL honors and Super Bowl as well?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's better weather. Some of them are living in Chicago and different parts of the country, and so it'll be a lot of fun going down there, closer to Jimmy Buffett weather. And the Walter Payton stuff has been really cool to kind of follow up on, doing videos and having fun, and it's definitely it was a focus, a few weeks ago when we started doing that video stuff, only because of the philanthropy in this town and what that means to this town and the people of the town, and what it would be cool to have like a sixth Walter Payton honoree, and there's 10, 15 guys that do just as much as I do off the field that deserve that award too. I'm just, if they say that you're going, I'm gonna go, but I hope to do all football stuff there. I hope I can't go to any Walter Payton stuff down there. I already told him that.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
All right,
Dustin.
thank you.
Dustin.